The combat zone in the Kursk region has grown to 1,150 square kilometers in the last 24 hours. This is evidenced by data from both the Ukrainian and Russian military departments. Journalists from the agency publication also analyzed data from the NASA fire monitoring system, which also makes it possible to understand the scale of what is happening in the Kursk region. Over the last 24 hours alone, the area of combat has increased by 150 square kilometers. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Alexander Syrsky said that Ukrainian forces control 82 settlements in the Kursk region. In Russia, I remind you, they admitted to losing just over 40. Well, and a new hotspot on the map, you can see them now. These are the settlements of Varvarovka and Skrilevka. An attack and an attempt to break through by the Armed Forces of Ukraine were recorded there. The Armed Forces of Ukraine also continue to strike at the bridge over the Sime River in the settlement of Varvarovka. Ukrainian military claims that Russia is using the bridge to supply weapons to its units. Let me remind you that an evacuation has been announced from Blushkov, mandatory. The pro-war Russian telegram channel Redovka publishes a video directly from that very bridge. Let's take a look. There were large incoming attacks. They are trying to destroy the bridge. It could be HIMARS. By the way, HIMARS and the Russian Defense Ministry said that their Iskander system crew destroyed a Ukrainian installation from which shelling was carried out in the Kursk region. Allegedly, the installation was in the Sumy region, a border region of Ukraine. Kiev did not comment on this information. Previously, both Russian and Ukrainian resources reported that a column of Russian military personnel near the village of Rylsk was shot at using a HIMARS gun in the first days of the offensive. Dozens of people died then. Also this morning, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced that their cruise and army aviation and Mi-28 helicopters attacked a concentration of manpower of armored and automotive military equipment of the Ukrainian Armed Forces units. No other details have been reported. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian military published a clearer video from the village of Nezhepin. The ISU announced its capture the day before. Well, the day before, the Ukrainian side announced the capture of 102 Russian soldiers. I published numerous photos and videos of them. The Russian side did not confirm this information. Financial Times sources in the Ukrainian government claim that Ukraine and Russia have already begun negotiations regarding a possible exchange of prisoners. A video from inside one of the dugouts of Russian soldiers who surrendered was published by the Ukrainian military. Damn, this is even Russian. They came there. Here. Corrugation. The tree is protective. There. According to German Major General Christian Freuding, up to 10,000 Ukrainian military personnel are taking part in the operation in the Kursk region. It is unknown how many Russian soldiers are opposing them, but CNN sources claim that Russia has deployed several thousand soldiers to the Kursk region, but it is not withdrawing serious forces from the front on Ukrainian territory. Citing American intelligence, CNN also reports that Russia, in addition to units from Ukraine, sends personnel from the Leningrad military district and from Kaliningrad to the Kursk region about the humanitarian situation. Russian authorities announced evacuations in 5 districts of the Kursk region. This morning, for example, the mayor of the city of Lvov, Alexei Klemeshov, called on residents who had left to stand for election. Don't come back. 121,000 people. This is the official number of evacuees that the Russian authorities call. Up to 80,000 more people need to be evacuated. Here are the stories of those who left. They shot at the turn, there were mines there, we drove around the mines. Then we drove a little further, and the drone fell on Bondarevka. We don't know ourselves, we don't know. We cry day and night every day. We don't know, we just don't know what we'll do. We have a farm there. We left everything and were released. They all abandoned them from somewhere and left. We have a vegetable garden there. We have everything there. Everyone helped with humanitarian aid, but basically there was no evacuation, nothing happened. Those who made it, what they left on, and those who didn't, chose themselves. The day before, the Ukrainian government stated that due to the deterioration of the humanitarian situation in the adjacent territories of the Kursk region, Ukraine should be ready to receive officials. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Syrsky, also announced the creation of a military commandant's office in the Kursk region. It was headed by Ukrainian Major General Eduard Moskalev. The purpose of the Commandant's office is to ensure law and order in the territories occupied by the Ukrainian Armed Forces.